Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi and welcome back to my channel Fan with Data Science. So basically what we were doing is that we were having a data set that was of Google Apps rating and we were doing some manipulation, some imputation, some describe, and we were doing some things on data set, right? So just quickly let me revise and let me just take you the upside that what we were doing in reality, and just let me have a little bit of zoom this side so that you can just have a clearer look. Okay, so what we have done is that we have just imported some libraries and they were NumPy, Pandas, Seaborn and matplotlib, right? After that, what I have done is that I have just read the data. So for reading that data, I have made a variable, or you can say anything, and I have written it name as df. So now df means start data frame. I have written shortcut that was df, and now after that I have used my pandas library to just read my csv file. And my CSV file was of the name that is Google Play Store.csv, right? So here we just read our whole CSV file, whatever is present. Okay. Now next I was just checking about the types. Then what I did is that I just wrote df.head. So basically this head is used to print the top 5 rows of the data set, right? So my top 5 rows of my data set were these. Okay. Other than that, there was one more function that was tail. So basically this tail is used to print the last 5 rows of our data set. So that I have done, right? Next, moving towards, I was just checking out the shape. That shape means how many rows or how many columns are basically present in our data set. So I have checked that. Then after that, what I was doing is that I was just checking and describing my data. Now describing means that it was some count and mean, median, mode, 25%, 50%, 25%, maximum, minimum, and all that things. Okay. So this was the thing that I was doing. Now all these things can be done only on numerical data set, right? So my numerical data set was my ratings. So there I was just performing and describing the data. Okay, I was just checking that what's the data and what is the description of my data, right? So I have done that. Then what I have done is that I have just plotted a box plot. So basically in box plot, when I plot that, what I found is that I just found an outlier there. Okay, and now just see one more thing here. I just got a very exciting thing for you. So when we just described the data, so it showed me that the rating column, and for the rating it showed me count, mean, standard deviation, minimum 25%, 50%, 75%, and maximum. So basically here when you are gonna see this maximum, so maximum was 19. So that is means that our maximum rating is 19, and yeah, ratings can't be they cannot be 19 because ratings are only till 5. So here only if you have just used a little bit of you have just seen it carefully, then you have just got an idea here only that you have some outliers. Outliers are the unwanted data, or you can say they are the unwanted data in our data sets, right? So here I just found that maximum rating I was having 19, but only the maximum rating we can give is 5, right? So this was treating as an outlier for our data set. Now after that I just saw that, and after that I wanted to confirm. So for confirming I just plotted my box plot, and here I confirmed that yes I was having an outlier in my data set, and this circle is basically representing the outlier of my data set, right? So this one is the thing. Other than that, my normal ratings were these downside, it is from something you can say 1 to 5. Okay, so but when I was just telling you about the describe, there we can see the minimum rating is 1. Okay, so this is the thing you can just check out from these, and then we just draw the histogram for that. Then what I did is that I cleaned my data. So for cleaning my data, firstly what I need to do is that I need to check the information. Okay, that what is my data, what data types are just present in my data set. Okay, so I want to check that. So for that I just use df.info, and just it told me that okay, your ratings data set has a float value. So that is why only I was just getting the describe function when I was using my describe. Okay, then I was getting the ratings because that is a float type. Next, I just take my null values df.isNull, but as simply as I write df.isNull, it didn't show me anything much because I was having too many rows in my data set, so it simply gave me false, false, false. And yeah, it does not give me the between rows. So how just can I check that is null values are present in that or not? So for that, what I did is that I simply wrote df.isNull.sum, and when I did that sum, I just got that I am having 4 or 5 columns in which I am having null values. So first one was rating, second was type, third was content rating, fourth was current version and Android version. So basically after checking this, I just like firstly I tried to remove the outliers, and after removing the outliers I checked to remove the columns at a 90% entry like empty, and after that I tried to remove this rating null values. So basically we have done till we have removed the ratings null values till now. So now today further what we are going to do is we are still left with 3 of the null values. So now today I'm just gonna you can say fill up those null values. Okay, so for that let's start writing, and my data frame was df. So simply firstly I will write print, and in bracket I would write df, and in brackets I would give all that 3. So I will just like firstly I will write one, then another. Okay, it will be of that type. So print df and then type. After that what I will do is that I will just replace all these things with the mode. Now what is mode? So basically I'm telling you a simple definition here. If you want to just know more and more about mode, so you can just go and visit my statistics videos. So there I have already described the mode in a very detail with some examples also. Okay, so you can just see that. So basically what is mode? Mode is the let's say you have a series. In that series you have 1 2 3 4 2 3. Sorry, so let's say you have a series, and in that series you have 1 2 3 4 4 5. So basically 4 is coming 2 times, so the number that is like coming more and more times in your list or whatever you have. So basically that is called the mode. So basically what I'm going to do is that I'm going to replace my type from the mode. So mode, basically whatever is coming many a times in my data set, so I would replace that type using my mode. Okay, so this is the thing that I'm going to do. So I'm going to do this thing for all of the 3. So for that I'm firstly I have written type. Secondly what I'm going to do is that I'm going to write df, and in brackets I would write current version. Okay, so this is my, okay, I'm so sorry, RREN and it's VER, I guess, right? So my current version with my mode, and okay, done. Next what I'm going to do is that I'm going to replace this Android version null values using my mode. So df dot, and then I would write Android, and that's where, and dot mode. Okay, mode. Okay, now done. So now simply I will run my program, and okay, so I have some okay, I'm sorry, I just put that dot here and I need to remove that. Okay, now once again run that, and okay, so here I got something, and let's check that what it is. So it okay, so what I got here is that when I just replace the null values of type, current version and Android version using mode, so simply I got the other thing. So basically what I got, 0 free, 0 varies with device. Okay, and other than that I have got whole all these 3 columns here in my data of my data set this side. Okay, so that is type, current version and Android version. Okay, so this is the whole thing which I got, and okay, name is Android version, length this, okay, data type object. Okay, this is all the things. Okay, now done. Now what I need to do is that I need to fill those values, right? I need to fill them. So like filling, and then what we will do is that I would simply write df, right? Then after writing df I would write type. Now I was having 3 columns, type, current version and Android version. So I'm just working upon that only because I need to clean all that null values, right? Now I wrote this, and after that now I'm gonna use one more function, that is fillna function. So basically in the last video also I've told about fillna. Now today also I'm gonna tell that what is this fillna. So basically this is used to fill the column, fill the blank values whatever they are. So every the data set which we are dealing with, in with that we have type, current version and Android version. So basically in all these 3 we have some you can say some null values, right? So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to fill with that. Okay, basically in the previous cell what we have done, in the previous cell I have just found the mode of all these things, right? Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to fill those things using the mode. Okay, so simply I'm going to write df type dot fill. Now in bracket I would write string, then I would write df, okay, df, and now in the bracket I would again write my column name. I would simply write dot mode, and I will use my mode function here, dot values, and in the brackets I will give values as 0. Okay. Now, other than that, value 0, and after coming out, I would simply put a comma and I would just give in place is equal to and true. Now, see what I have done here is that I have simply used my data frame df and I have just used my column name, that is type. After that, what I am doing is that I am basically filling my column name, column name that is type. I am filling my type using the mode. Okay. So basically, what is this mode? I have just now told you that mode is the most repeated words. Okay, you can say most repeated numbers. So basically, what I'm doing, what I'm doing is that I'm just filling it using the mode, right? And now, one more thing, just let me go a little bit upside once and just let me check where I have done that thing. Okay, fine. That's totally fine, nothing. Now, what we have done is that I have just written this and in place, and why I have written in place is equal to 2 because I want to just make these changes available in that data set also. Okay. So that is why I have written when I would get the output, so in that output all these things should be changed. That is why I have written in place is equal to 2, right? So now what I will do is that I would now just do these things for the current version and Android version also. Okay. Okay, so I would write current version and after that I would use dot fill now and I would simply write str. Then I would again use a bracket. I would write df and then I would write current version ver and then I would simply write dot mode. I would use my mode function, then I would use values and in bracket I would simply use 0, and other than that what I will do is that I would simply put a comma and I will write in place is equal to true. Done. So I have done this thing for my current version also. Now my turn is to do it for Android version. So I would simply write Android version and okay. After that I would write dot and then fill now and in bracket str and then again then df and then I would simply write my name, that is Android version and okay, Android. Okay, just let me write the correct spellings and okay, it's done. After that what I will write is that I would write mode is for replacing the values. Then I would write values and in brackets I would put simply 0 and then I would just go out. Okay, just let me do the thing. Okay, and I would simply write in place is equal to true. Then so I have performed all the operations to fill that blank values. Okay, so I just say run and after that now when I am going to print df dot is null. So because what we were doing is that we were just filling our null values, right? So when I am not doing df dot is null dot sum. So when I will just enter, I would get that okay. Now you have no null values. So simply let me go down and now just see here. Now whatever the columns were there, I am getting that I have none of the null values here. So here what we have completed is that here we have completed replacing our null values. We have finished our null values using the mean, either we have used somewhere mean, we have used somewhere mode. So basically using we have used median and mode. So basically by using that operations we have just finished all the null values that were present in our data set. Okay, so this task is completed. Now in my data set I was having some okay, now just see what I'm gonna do. Just pay attention towards this. Now I'm gonna write df.price. Now I'm gonna work with price, reviews, and install all these three columns. So just let me quickly go upside and tell you price. Okay, so this was our data set, right? So here what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do have the data, and in that I'm going to apply some functions on price, reviews, and installs. Okay, all these three functions. Okay. Why I'm going to do this, I will just let you know this in a little bit of while. Okay, done. Now, okay, done. So here what I'm doing is that I have used my data frame, that is df, and then I use my price function. Now I will simply put equal to and just let me give a space so that it looks neat and clean. I would write df and then I would simply write df price. Now what I am going to do is that I'm going to apply some conditions here. So for applying, I'm not going to use if else. I'm firstly going to use my lambda function. Now, what is this lambda function? I'm not going to tell you this thing here, because if I'm going to tell this all these things, it will take the whole video, and like I would be needing a separate video. So for that, I have already completed the video on lambda functions in my basics of Python playlist. So you can just go there and have a look over that video and just again come back for seeing this one. Okay, so like by doing this, you will get a good exposure of all the things whatever I'm going to do here. Okay. So I would simply write df price is equal to df price dot apply lambda x is 2, and I would simply use my string that is str of x, and now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to replace. Okay, now here what I have done is that I have used a new function that is replace. Okay, and now I would say that replace dollar from space. See, here what I am going to do is that I have my data set, right? So in that data set, in price, somewhat I have like dollar signs and all that thing. So I'm just gonna replace that all. Okay. So for like cleaning my data, this is also a data manipulation, and you can say data manipulation imputation steps. Okay. So like this is the call like heading in which we are performing all these functions. So basically this is the thing, and like I put the comma, and after that what I need to do is that I need to just give a space, and here I'm gonna use the shorthand if else conditions. Okay, because I don't want my like line to be too much of long, so that is why I'm gonna use this shorthand if else function here. Now for that also I have already made a video, and I hope you are following my videos, so you will get a nice explanation for all these things. Okay. So this is what I have done here, and this is what I have used my conditional. Quickly let me explain it. I have used my lambda function. Okay, so lambda x. Now my string x. Okay, so here what I have done is that I have just used my replace function. Okay, if dollar in str of x. Okay, so what it is saying that if dollar like this dollar sign is present, so replace it. Okay, otherwise let it be whatever it is. Okay, so this is the whole thing which I have written here, and this is what I was explaining to you, right? So now quickly let me just copy this whole line. Okay, just sorry. Okay, now just let me copy this whole line very quickly. Okay, let it be. I would just simply write other thing. Okay, so I would write df, and in bracket I would again write price. And what I will do is that I will simply write is equal to df, and I would simply write price. Now dot I will use my apply function, and in the bracket I would simply use lambda x is to float of x. So basically like we are just dealing with the price value, so here we have some float values also, right? So that is why I have used this lambda function here, right? So this is the thing which I have done, and now I need to like do one more thing. So for that I would simply write df, and now here I would use my reviews column. Okay, so here I will use df reviews is equal to pd dot. Now here I have used my pandas library. Okay, because I want to convert it to a numeric time. Okay, so pd dot to numeric. So basically this is a function. Now I want to convert this all these things into my numeric thing. Okay, numeric. Now like because like reviews would be in you can say like they can either be in, you can say, alphabets or numbers that's like on the data, right? So that is where reviews and numerics, and after that what I will do is I will use my df, and inside this I would use reviews. Okay, so it is reviews comma errors is equal to, and here what I will use is that quiz. Done. So this is the thing which we have just completed. Now just let me quickly run this. Okay, so it has basically run, and now our new goal is to write some more things and perform some more functions on install function. Okay, so here I am going to do the things on install. Basically above what we have done, we have just done on price and reviews. Now my last goal is to do on installs. Okay, so I have just like written df is equal to installs, and I would simply write df, and again I would write installs. Now what I would do is that I would simply apply, and after apply I will use my lambda function. Lambda x and colon, then I would use my string is str of x, and then I would just simply do the same thing that I have done above side. So I would just replace that plus okay plus comma space. Now and after that what I would do, I would simply write that condition. So let me give a space and I would write if plus in str of x else I would write str of x. Done. Okay, I'm sorry, I would just simply write this x here. Okay, I guess so this must be closed, right? So this is the thing what I have done here. This is the same as I have done above. Now simply what I have done, I have simply used the install function, install like column. Other than that, everything is same here, okay? So I would now just simply copy all this thing, whatever I have written, and just in the same cell I would just enter and paste this. Now here what I need to do is that I need to simply just replace something. So here what I need to do is that I need to replace comma, and what else I need to do is that if okay, so if plus in str, here also I need to remove this comma and then else strx. Okay, done. Now next thing what I need to do is that, so I have done both of the things. Now my third thing which I need to do here is that I would simply write df and in bracket I would write installs. Then I would simply write is equal to df. Now above again the thing which we have done above, I would simply apply that lambda. Now what I will write is df and here I would use installs function and I have just simply used triple s. I need to make it 2 dot apply and here I would use lambda and I would simply write x is to float and in bracket I would write x. So this is done, and now when I'm going to run this it will simply run. And just see one more thing, now when I am going to do my use my head function, that is df.end head, and I am printing the top 10 rows of my like data set. So now my data set looks very nice. Okay, so here what I get is that I simply get to, like find reviews, find price, and okay, so what it is like, simply I get everything filled up here in my data set now because I have removed all the null values. Now when I am going to describe my data set, df dot describe, and I would use like describe function. Now just see what happens here is that I got many values here. Now see what I got is that I got reviews, I got installs, and I got price. I got all these three like because all these three are already converted into that into numerical values, and we get the describe function of all the numerical values, right? So here all these are converted into numerical values, and that was our goal, to convert these things into numerical values, and that is why we were applying these lots of like codes and applying these lots of functions here, okay, so that we can get a clear data set and a clean data set. So our this goal is also completed for getting a clear and clean data set. Now our last goal for this like data set is to do some data exploration at the last and just make some graphs and see that what's the final output that we are getting. So we will be doing all these things in the last part of this video, that is part 4. And I hope you got all the points today, whatever I discussed, and I hope I made everything clear to you. If you have any doubts, any questions, any confusions, you can just comment all these things in the comment box. I will surely reply to your comments. Okay. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and bye-bye.